can I ask you a question? What do you think is more challenging, being an actor or a visual artist?
I know when I was going through our project, I noticed that with the visual artist, after when your project is finished, you have to sell. And I like that totally broke my heart because, I mean, it's already very personal to begin with. And to be able to, it's like you can't sell your soul, and it's so intimate. And it felt like a prostitution almost. I know it's
now you're calling me a hoe?
Well, actors are also hoe too, so
right.
It's a different grade.
That's so interesting that you say that.
So I was literally, it was so painful to see all those artists talking to buyers. Literally, it was so painful to see all those artists talking to buyers. And the buyer's perspective is that because they want to own your painting or your sculpture, they have a certain degree of a sort of education about art, but yet they don't really know. So they've already stepped on this platform of knowing, but yet they really don't. And they come off as like they know, and they're trying to figure out how much it should cost, and then to actually request a discount. It's just so. That was a really painful process, and I think that's why I felt like being a visual artist, you have to truly have a thick skin. It's very different from. The chemistry is very different from playwright actor versus visual artist. Because they're our soul, but we have a huge.
Like, oh no, I'm selling my soul. I always thought that there is this distance that I have because I am creating, and I'm doing that away from anyone. So it's a really, solid kind of. I don't know, just me and myself. Just engrossed in whatever I'm doing and whatever emotions that come out through it. It's just, I'm solitary. And as visual artists, a lot of visual artists, they're not really social people. So they can just stay inside their studio, painting, creating, whatever. So I always felt like that when you come out of your studio, you've kind of like left all that there. And then by the time you put it on the wall, you're attached to it, but it's not as tender, But that's a process. As an artist, it's like give your baby away, and you're giving a piece of yourself away. So with the buyer, I really am looking for someone who has a reaction, an emotional. They're standing in front of the painting and they're like, wow, and they see things in it, and they have these interpretations that maybe I never thought of, and then they tell me that. That's the kind of buyers that I like, because they have this emotional, and then I feel like, okay, a piece of me is going to be with them. But I always think that when I see an actor, or like for your case, as a playwright, you wrote your piece, it was very personal, then you presented it, that, first of all, you're not by yourself. If you're in a movie, you need to, you have to rely on other people to help make you look good. And I think it's a level of control that you have to leave.
Huge distance. There's this thing called stage. So there's like a couple of feet away from the audience. And after, when you do your performance, the audience actually get captured and they greet you and they're so happy because we entertain them to a degree. We bare our souls, or in a way we're like almost sometimes in a different topic. We open their eyes, perhaps. We expand their minds, or perhaps like make them just think about things, in a different perspective way. So we're more of a teaching and a student level. So it's always a nice give and exchange. Of course, that's good for if it's a good art, good play, or good movie. But for visual artists, I think that's what I really felt. I felt like, wow, like you guys have it tough.
I never thought about it that way.
I'm sorry.